Hey y'all, how's it going? I am Joy, that is Steve, and welcome to the NFL Predictions Versus for Week 13.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard to believe it's already December.
Honestly, yeah, it's prime holiday season.
Hmm.
I have done absolutely nothing to prepare for it, but you know what?
Hmm.
Per the usual, just kind of how these
Yeah,
things tend to go. But
true.
also, how these things tend to go. How did Week 12 go?
Yeah, I I did a little bit of a comeback there. I'm sure I have a similar record to you. Finished 11-5.
Yeah, I as well went 11 and 5, so it's really good. How did we do on our splits? Did we split those?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
one game piece there.
All right, cool. I imagined that would be like how the math would work, but my brain does not want to cooperate with me today.
True.
I don't know what's going on, but we're going to try to power through
Buffering
this
issue.
thing. Yeah, we're going to try to power through this and figure this
Yeah.
thing out. So here's our
Hmm.
standings to try to gain our bearings a little bit, and by our, I definitely mean mine.
Hmm.
So in first place, we have SDS with 113.66 and 1. I am in second with 111, which I love, 68 and 1. Really wish it was one extra game, but whatever. And
True.
then John and Buff are tied for third at 109, 70, and 1. And then Steve here has 102, 77, and 1. So it's going to be a rough end of the season, but
True.
we should be seeing some more shakeups because now we have a bunch of ties and everyone's like 2 games back, uh,
True.
7 games back. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens
Yeah.
in the coming weeks. And then Spite I still
True.
have at 10 and 3 because I don't
Hmm.
recall any actual Spite picks in week 12.
Hard to find any there.
Yeah, I couldn't. I went through the list and I couldn't see anything that was a clear Spite. So
Hmm. Yeah. And on top of that, the birds and dead last with 0-1.
yeah, because he mistakenly chose in the Cardinals and Seahawks game. So
Hmm.
I'm still one up on him, which is always a plus.
Hmm.
So for week 12, what would you say was regret of the week? Let's just start with
Uh,
the negative.
okay. With me, it's obviously picking the Broncos over the Panthers. They're not knowing the demise of Russell Wilson there.
Yeah, uh, Russ's cooking is not exactly top tier right now. So I, you kind of hate to see it, but at the same time, you love to see it.
True.
Especially if, as a Hawks fan for John.
Hmm.
This is really, really good for Denver to be losing all these games. So, and
Give
plus,
them a higher pick.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm doing the exact same thing, hoping the Rams lose out so that Detroit can get a top 2 or a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
Like, it would be amazing if Denver and the Rams had a 1 and 2, so that
Hmm.
Seattle and Detroit would have a 1 and 2.
Hmm.
That would be ideal for me, but I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see how that goes.
Hmm.
I think for me, my regrets are either going to be taking the Titans, not remembering how the divisional round last year went.
True.
Um,
That AFC playoff game there.
yeah,
Mm.
when the Bengals kind of mollywopped him a little bit there.
Yeah.
Tannehill just, for some reason, he can't get past Cincinnati, and
Hmm.
I should have known that, and I should have taken that.
Hmm.
And also, honestly, trusting the Bucks and not going with Cleveland when Cleveland was at home.
True.
But with the way that that game ended, it's
Yeah. Shocker.
kind of a shock. Um,
Hmm.
but along those lines, I have a different game for shock of the week. If you
Hmm.
want to move on to
Yeah.
that one,
Yeah.
I have the Raiders game.
Yeah. Obviously, their second win in overtime.
Yeah, and it was the way that it happened with Josh Jacobs' 86-yard
Yeah.
run for it. Like, what was
Hmm.
stupid is I was watching the game in
Yeah.
Sleeper, my
Yeah.
fantasy
Exactly.
league, because
Hmm.
it wasn't being aired on TV for some reason. I don't know why we didn't switch over to it, but
Yeah.
whatever. The stations are going to be dumb. So I
Yeah.
was watching
But
it. Go ahead.
So luckily I saw it on Red Zone there. So
Yeah, that was. I imagine if you have that, that's really really helpful. Because I
hmm
was reading the script of like the plays as they came through. So like
hmm
I would see incomplete pass for 4 yards or something like that. So I was reading along in Sleeper and I'd switch tabs for like
hmm
10 seconds to check on my
hmm
team and see how my score was doing and
Hey
whatnot.
Dale.
Hi, Dino. Yeah, I know. Sleeper's really fun. Y'all should really
hmm
try it. It's
hmm
fantastic for your fantasy football. But anyway,
hmm
so I changed tabs to look at my team, and by the time
hmm
I changed back to check on
hmm
the score, the game
hmm
was already over. So
hmm
it was really
Yeah.
kind of frustrating because I wish I could have seen that run, but it was a really shocking way for it to actually end. But at least
True.
we didn't tie, right?
Exactly.
That's a plus.
hmm
So what was your shock of the week?
Okay. Let's see here. I would have to say the Bengals beating the Titans there. That was a shocker to me.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised with how handily they
Yeah.
beat them. My other one would have been Jacksonville over Baltimore because that was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
they came back. And Baltimore
Yeah.
has a
True.
problem with
True.
letting teams in the late
hmm
game, and so
Yeah.
that's going to be concerning going forward.
Yeah. You just
So
mentioned my game of the week there.
I was going to say, so now for game of the week, you're taking Baltimore for that one?
Jacksonville there, that huge win there,
Yeah,
scoring that touchdown. Then the coach deciding to go for two to win it there. That was a gutsy play there. So,
that took some guts, but
hmm
also when you're the team that nobody expects to actually win,
hmm
you come out with guns ablazing in a way, and
yeah,
you put it all on the line at the end of the game
hmm
because no one thought you'd be here anyway.
yeah,
So
exactly.
going for the win instead of playing
Yeah,
for overtime
hmm
was really really smart.
yeah,
Gutsy as heck. So
yeah.
good
Good,
on you.
yeah. Good thing I trusted my gut there to take the Jags last week.
Yeah, you know what? God dang it. I should have. I really should have because I don't like Baltimore this year.
hmm
I haven't really liked Baltimore since Ray Lewis retired and Ed Reed
hmm
retired and Terrell Suggs moved on. So
True.
like that was because like I love a good D, and that is why I always liked
hmm
Pittsburgh, and I liked Arizona for a little bit, and I like Baltimore,
hmm
and defense is
True.
everything in this league, and
Yeah.
Baltimore just doesn't have one. They
Yeah.
they don't have a good one.
True.
So it kind of makes me scared for the upcoming week because I think that it might be prime time like upset potential. I mean, it's not in prime time, but you know what I mean.
Okay.
I think that it could be definitely upset worthy. For me,
hmm
though, my game of the week, and then we'll get on to week 13, is
hmm
probably Buffalo and Detroit.
hmm
Because who would have thought
hmm
that Detroit would have put up any kind of a fight
Yeah.
against this team?
hmm
And not only did they fight, but they almost pulled it off.
hmm
That was almost going to be my regret, was not trusting them, even though I got it
hmm
right. I almost
Yeah.
chose that as a regret anyway, because
Yeah.
I even didn't give them a shot, and I should have.
True. Hard to say.
Yeah, it was really good back and forth action, and
hmm
really fun. So,
Yeah.
but that being said, we are ready to move on to week 13, where the
What's
Bills will be
pretty?
once again starting off, if you are ready.
I'm ready to go there. And this week we have a couple of sub 500 teams there on the bye week there.
Freaking, I dropped my pen again. Go ahead. You wanted to say
Uh,
who's on the bye?
they are the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers.
Ooh, that's a good time to buy for Carolina. They
hmm
really need that. I mean,
hmm
Arizona too, I suppose. They can get Murray off of Call of Duty, but we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see how they do. So first up, we have an AFC East divisional battle with the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots.
Oh, this is going to be a good game to watch on Amazon Prime, fans there.
Yeah,
Or
if
or
y'all
in,
got that,
up here in Canada, we get it for free there on
lucky
the
you.
main network.
Lucky you.
Yeah, yeah. So this is going to be a quarterback battle with Josh Allen and Mac Jones there.
I hope that it is. I
Mhm.
really do. Josh Allen is arguably one of the better
Mhm.
QBs in the league, of course. And then Mac Jones, I'm still kind of on the fence with him, to be honest. I don't
Yeah,
dislike Mac Jones, but
true.
I'm not entirely sure about his.
Yeah, you're still Bailey Zappi gal.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a Zappy gal or not, but we'll put that over here in the maybe column.
Okay,
Quite frankly, I have enough QBs that I'm bestowing my adoration onto.
true,
I
true.
don't need a third.
Yeah, and obviously the Patriots coming off a loss to the Vikings there on Thursday night there last week.
Right, which was actually a fairly decent game.
Hmm. Exactly.
And
Still,
it was also
still
marred in controversy, per the usual with these things.
true. Yeah. But with me, this one's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a field goal or less game, and I'm going to take Josh Allen and the Bills to beat the Patriots.
Yep, I agree. Even though they're on the road, again,
Hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and take them for it. I think that just overall they're the better team. And I hope that Von Miller isn't out for long.
True.
That injury definitely played a role in Detroit being close.
Yeah.
But hopefully he'll be good to go here soon. I don't know the status on him for this week,
Yeah.
but
Hard to
either
say.
yeah, either way, I think that the Bills should have this one well in hand regardless.
Hmm.
All right, now we are carrying on over to Sunday, I do believe.
Hmm.
All right, next up we have the Steelers and Atlanta.
Oh,
I hate
this
this game.
one's going to be tough to call there because Steelers coming off a huge win there.
Yeah, which I
Uh,
don't
uh,
regret taking Indy.
yeah,
My
exactly.
my problem with that game is coaching
Yeah,
and time management. I
yeah,
believe Jeff Saturday said something to the effect of, I didn't think time would be a problem,
yeah.
which time is always a problem.
Hmm.
Time is always something that you should be striving.
Aware of.
Yeah, you should be aware of it. And you should always be striving to manage it well.
Yeah,
One of the biggest problems in Denver has been time management this year.
yeah,
The timeouts are called incorrectly. I was mad at Detroit during the Buffalo game for not calling a timeout when they should have as well. So,
exactly.
it all comes down to being a new coach, and you really should at least have that part of it down.
Yeah, and obviously Atlanta coming off a loss to the Commanders there.
Heineke,
Yeah, yeah. But with me
attaboy.
there, with the Falcons there, whenever I pick them to win, they lose there, and when I go against them, they win there.
Freaking Falcons, right? Like it's just every time, right? So
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
I'm so sad that you're feeling the pain of the
Yeah,
Falcons curse,
yeah, true.
because
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah. So with me there, right, I think I'm going to go Steelers there. I'm worried the Falcons would win as a result of it.
You know what? I actually took the Falcons, so I'm okay with that. I yeah, I shouldn't, in
Yeah.
honesty, because I do think that the Steelers have an overall better like defense and stuff like that as well.
Okay.
But the Falcons are at home,
Hmm.
and typically when it's a split game, like I could see either team winning because they're fairly evenly matched. I tend
Yeah.
to lean towards the home team
Yeah.
and whoever needs a rebound. So I'm
Exactly.
taking the Falcons for that reason alone. And
Okay.
unfortunately, John agrees with you. And so he and
Hmm.
I split on Falcons. And whenever we
Yeah.
split on Falcons, it does not go well.
Go
The
go to
entire
Boston.
yeah, the entire week
Yeah.
is going to be in shambles because he and I have disagreed
Mhm. Yeah.
on our bane of a
Yeah.
team.
Stay tuned at the end for it, folks.
Mm, it's going to be interesting.
Hmm.
So next up is my least favorite game of the week, and I am hoping that this ties. We have Green Bay and the Bears.
Yeah. We found out the reason why Aaron Rodgers was playing poorly there because of broken thumb, and then on Sunday he hurt his ribs there.
Yeah, they did kind of get to him a little bit, didn't they?
True there,
It's
but
fun to see.
near the end of the game, Jordan Love was amazing there. I mean, why don't they put him in more? I guess because Aaron Rodgers is more stubborn there, and he wants to keep his job.
Yeah, well, Aaron Rodgers is the money man of
Yeah.
that team right now. They paid him to be the
Hmm.
starter, and so
Yeah.
this is what we're doing. And he's like that whole drama in the offseason about holding the team hostage and will he go here, won't he? It's just going to ruin Jordan Love's career going forward because he's not going to get a chance to actually play because Aaron
True.
Rodgers is being Aaron Rodgers. So
True. Yeah.
I
He told Pat McAfee there he wants to play on Sunday.
oh, I don't doubt it, and I don't have a doubt that he will, especially
Yeah.
because this is the team that he says that he owns.
Hmm.
And so while that is fun and I appreciate that, it's also kind of like you have to think about going forward. Now,
True.
they have really no hope this year for the
True.
playoffs anyway, so I don't think he's
No.
concerned about that.
No.
I think he's only concerned with himself, which
Yeah.
he's come out and said
Hmm.
that he doesn't care about the other players. He cares about me as MVP,
Yeah.
and you know, massive disrespect, and just more of a
True.
reason that I
True.
do not like him and haven't
Yeah.
since he took over.
Yeah.
But
But
all of
yeah.
that fanhood aside, frick
Yeah.
the Bears. I'm taking Green Bay.
Yeah. I agree with it. But I hope some. But my original thought was if Rodgers was starting, I was going to go with the Bears there. But if Jordan Love was starting, I would have went with the Packers there.
Oh
Then
dear.
then I heard about Justin Fields and the Bears injury, so I went back to the Packers.
What a pinball game. I love it. Just back and forth. Yeah, I can kind of agree with that. I think I would have more fun, honestly, having the Bears win, just
Mhm.
because my dislike for Aaron Rodgers goes a little bit
Yeah.
less deep than my dislike
Mhm.
of the Bears organization.
Yeah.
So having them take him out of the equation
Hmm.
would make me very happy.
Yeah.
However, frick the Bears.
Yeah.
It's kind of my thing. So
Your hashtag.
yeah, I can't not go against the Bears in a situation like this. But I will say both of these teams can stay in the basement.
Yeah.
I do not like you. Please go
True.
away.
Yeah. But the Lions and the Vikings battle for first place.
Yeah, well, no. The Lions are just hoping that they can stay in silver.
Yeah.
The Vikings got this gold, and I'm okay with
Yeah.
that. You know what? They earned it
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
Take it. Take it
Yeah.
and run with it and do the NFC North proud.
Yeah. There you go.
Skull.
Hmm.
That being said, we are staying
Hmm.
in the North when the Lions are
Hmm.
going to host the Jaguars.
Yeah. Like we discussed earlier, the Jags there. Whoo, that was a huge win.
It was a
Man.
ginormous win, and it gave me some pause going forward.
Hmm.
Pun intended, because
Hmm.
it's cat paws. But so we have a little feline fight here,
Yeah.
and I
And don't ask my cats for the pick there.
oh, that's a darn. We should have done that. I should have thought about that ahead of time. I should
Yeah.
have asked you.
Mhm. Yeah.
Nah, missed opportunity. Next year. Next year,
Yeah.
next time we have a feline fight, we will get Steve's cats involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause I'm not gonna own a cat. So right now we have Steve. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so for this one, I primarily again took the home team because I do think that it's kind of evenly matched. And
Mm-hmm.
also Detroit showed the nation what they're made of when they took on Buffalo.
Yeah. Took him to a close one
Yeah,
there.
they took them to task and they almost pulled off the upset of
The Bills.
yeah, of the forever. Like this would
Yeah.
have been the biggest upset
Mm-hmm. Exactly there.
in recent memory, and they dang near did it.
Yeah.
Now Jacksonville's not going to be easy.
True.
They have a lot of talent. I'm looking forward to seeing Marvin Jones Jr. back.
Yeah.
I've always liked him as a receiver, and so him coming
Yeah.
back to Detroit is going to be fun.
Yeah.
But
So
it's not going to be an easy game for sure.
no, because you got to watch out for Trevor Lawrence there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, defensively is always where I'm concerned when
Hmm.
it comes to Detroit.
Hmm.
So I'm not looking forward to the game because I think it's going to be
Yeah.
a problem.
Yeah.
But I do hope for the best. Who did you take? I'm taking Detroit if that wasn't.
Okay. Obviously, we're going to go split there because I think the Jags, for the second time in a row, can win a close one against the Lions.
All right, I respect that. I can understand that, but I'm gonna be a homer here, and
Okay.
I'm gonna drink the Kool-Aid for a week and see how it
Okay.
goes. And definitely for a week because next week,
Sure.
oh boy, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Um, well, speaking of, we have Week 14's opponent for my Lions, Minnesota. My God, that's gonna be horrible. Hosting the Jets.
Yeah. The Jets, they're changing their quarterback there from
Mike
Zach
freaking
Wilson
White.
to White there.
Yeah, good on him. I mean, it reminded me a lot of the Heineke effect minus the
Yeah.
flash, because
True.
this is a guy that the team really likes. Like the
Yeah.
players like him. They played
Yeah.
hard for him. The game was rainy as heck. It was
Hmm.
really, really fun.
Exactly.
People
But
coming up from the end zone and
yeah,
their jerseys are all black. It was really fun.
yeah. Bear in mind it was against the freaking Bears.
Fair point. And
Hmm.
it was against Trevor Simeon who actually played. I didn't think he was gonna play,
Yeah.
but he managed to, which
Yeah.
good on you.
Yeah.
You tried. Um, but the Jets defense is kind of where it shines. So, and
Yeah.
they're proving
Sauce
that.
Gardner.
Yeah, they're proving that with having three different QBs that they've played with this year, and still managing to be in a playoff hunt. It's
Yeah.
their defense. And this goes to what I was saying prior about how defense wins championships and how it's the most important thing
True.
in this league. And Salah took his second year and actually proved himself
Yeah.
with a complete
Yeah.
team rebuild.
Exactly.
My team's taking a little bit longer to do that, but you know what? It's okay because everyone's path is different.
Yeah. But with me, they're obviously I'm going to ride the wave of the Vikings and pick them to win and skull.
Skull, I agree.
Hmm.
I like Mike White. I like Sauce Gardner.
Hmm.
I like Bob Sala.
Hmm.
But the Vikings are a very well-oiled machine, very
Hmm.
well-rounded, and I'm trusting in the Skull
Yeah.
because Lord knows someone in the North has to be good.
Yeah.
All right, next up, I have what I believe will be a split, but we will see.
Hmm.
We have the Commanders and the Giants in an NFC East battle. I cannot say the least anymore because all of these teams are going to be above
Strong.
500.
Yeah.
All of
This
them are in the wild card hunt.
this is where I wanted to ask my philosophical question here.
Okay, absolutely.
Do you see a scenario in which all four teams in the NFC East make the playoffs? And I want everybody watching to answer it in the comments below as well.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Let us know what you guys think about this whole NFC East situation. What's really funny to me is how we have the NFC East doing so well
Yeah.
and the NFC West doing so kind
But
of. Well, no, it was the South actually, not the West. My bad.
yeah,
The NFC South is all sub 500,
true.
and yet one of them has to go through for winning the
Yeah,
division.
exactly.
Yeah, which is going to be hilarious because it's funny how
Yeah.
the divisions kind of flipped because I remember a year ago or a couple years ago when we were doing this, Washington, I believe, almost won their division,
Yeah.
and they were under
Well,
500 as well.
yeah, because all all four teams there are doing amazingly well there.
Yeah, this year the East is definitely on fire, and
Yeah.
can I see all four teams making the playoffs?
Hmm. It's possible.
I think it's possible. My only problem with that is there's a lot of divisional games coming up in the rest of the season
True.
that's going to shift things drastically.
Yeah.
Like we have this
Yeah.
one that's coming up.
Yeah.
We have next week the Eagles and the Giants face off.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then let me see if we have another one. I think Washington's on the bye next week. That's cool.
True.
Good.
I think there. Yeah.
They
I
need
just
that.
make sure. Yeah. You're
Yep.
right.
Okay, and then in week 15, we have New York and Washington again facing
Hmm.
off.
Exactly.
So like there's a lot of divisional games coming up
Yeah.
for this
Yeah. True.
for the East, and I think that's going to shake
Yeah.
things up a
The,
lot.
yeah. The only NFC team that I see can spoil that probably be the Seattle Seahawks, in my opinion.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although they, in theory, I think that they're on pace to win their division, Seattle.
Yeah. But they have to get by the Niners.
I know, yeah, they have. That's going to be a hard game, but I think that they can do it. They have the coaching behind them and the good
Hmm.
talent. All they got
Yeah.
to do is make sure they can stop McCafferty, and I think you got this.
Yeah. Exactly.
But as far as the
But
East
getting back to
goes,
the game.
yeah, as far as the East goes, I think it's
Yeah.
possible. I think I'm gonna stick with what I said before,
Hmm.
and that the Giants are not going to be the same
Hmm.
after losing to Detroit because they looked through Detroit. And so
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with my prediction on that. And for this game, I'm taking Washington.
Ooh.
Not only for my logic about the Giants
Well,
being
mhm.
never being the same after
Yeah.
losing to Detroit, but
Yeah.
also it's Heineke. I mean, come on, you know I'm going to take
Yeah.
Heineke. If I have
Yeah.
a chance to,
True.
I'm going with Heineke.
Yeah.
Week 14 is going to be very sad for me because there is no Heineke.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know what I'm going to
And
do.
but with me there, I think this one's going to be a close game and it might come down to a field goal there. And I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to go a split there and take the Giants in an upset to beat the Commanders.
That's okay. I think it's potential that I am alone
Mhm.
on the Heineke choice,
Yeah.
but we'll see at the end of the episode what everybody else
Mhm.
picked and where we are with that. Hopefully I'm
Exactly.
not because alone games are scary,
Yeah.
but I had to do it. Y'all know
Hmm.
me. I have to.
Yeah.
But we will be now staying in the East and have the Eagles host King Henry and the Titans.
Yeah, but I don't know what happened to the Titans last week. They're I
I
figure Derrick Henry's game would help him win it there, but wasn't enough there.
No, it really wasn't. I don't even remember how he did
Mhm.
in the game, to be honest. I know that in my fantasy league, he got me 14 points,
Yeah.
which is not bad, but for his caliber of runner,
Hmm.
that also ain't very good.
Yeah.
For comparison, Miles Sanders on the Eagles got me
Hmm.
31.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I don't I don't really know. I think you can lay this at Ryan Tannehill
Yeah.
because he had trouble getting through the Bengals last time.
True.
And then last week he also had some difficulties
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But also you just have to credit Cincinnati as well for
Yeah.
playing very well
Yeah. But it's
without
going to be
Jamar
more
Chase.
difficult. Yeah. It's going to be more difficult this week to get on Jalen Hurts' team.
Yeah, especially in Philly. Like that's going to be where it's the most difficult. Like you're
Hmm.
going to Philadelphia,
Yeah.
where when you lost to Cincinnati, you lost at home.
Yeah.
So now it's even more complicated and more
Yeah.
difficult for you because not only are you facing a better team on
Yeah.
paper,
Hmm.
but you're going on the road,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
it's going to be hard to rebound. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking we'll be in agreement.
Yeah. We'll both take the Eagles.
Yeah, unfortunately. Now what's hilarious is I'm starting in my fantasy league. I'm starting Derrick Henry and Miles Sanders.
Oh
So
boy.
it's going to be a battle of running back 1 and 2 for me.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's just a ground game.
Yeah.
I would love that. Sorry,
Hmm.
Troll. I hope that Jalen Hurts has a good game for you as well, but I also
Yeah.
want him to have a good game on the ground
Hmm.
and not air it out because
True.
I need my points.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this
Yeah.
goes. But yeah, I'm taking the Eagles as well. I just think
Yeah.
that they're a bit of a buzzsaw,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I hope the
True.
Tennessee
True.
wins because I like Tennessee. And
Yeah.
it'd be really fun for the NFC conference in general if Philadelphia
Yeah.
loses. But I can't do it,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Mhm.
All right, next up, we've got Denver, or Denver, going to
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Uh,
They Broncos sunk real low.
yeah, yeah, they do. Wow, that was
Yeah.
harsh.
Yeah.
Ouch. But
So
they
from
do.
Bronco fan there, I got my hit on my hand on my head there as a result of it.
Yeah. So yeah, I have to ask, as a Broncos fan, how
Hmm.
did you feel about the Russell Wilson trade when it first happened?
Uh,
And
I
how,
felt excited about it there.
yeah, so you were really excited at the time. So
Yeah.
how are you feeling now that we're 12 weeks in?
Yeah. Uh, I just feel disappointed right now there because they they don't have any offense to help them score there.
Hmm. Now, do you
Yeah.
think that that's a coaching issue, or do you think it's more in line with it being Russell Wilson not performing as he should, given his name and caliber of play?
I'll have to say coaching issue there. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I would tend to agree because, like, Hackett is a first year coach and
Yeah.
he's been making a lot of like play calling mistakes, and his
Yeah.
play calling actually got revoked and they gave it to Kubiak,
Yeah.
Gary Kubiak's son.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's really interesting. And then the whole time management issue. So
Mhm.
they definitely have their work cut out for them going forward, depending on
True.
if they want to ride this out
True.
or if they want to have him be a one and done
Yeah.
going forward. But
True.
I feel bad for the whole situation because, in a way, it feels like Russell Wilson kind of sold them a bag of goods
Yeah.
without anything really in it, you know?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel bad for Denver, but I also feel bad for Russell Wilson because now he's getting a really bad rep
Yeah.
as, he was the problem all along and he wasn't even the answer for Seattle.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
now they're comparing it, well, you're supposed to be this, elite quarterback, but you're not doing anything for us.
No.
So,
Hmm.
and then, as I mentioned earlier, we have Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, who's running back number one, and whose
True.
defense can't seem to stop anybody late game. It's like
Yeah.
they forget how to play when the fourth quarter happens. I don't know
Exactly. There. It's
what is going on.
they don't take the field on the fourth quarter, and
Yeah, it's like they just disappeared. Where did you go?
yeah, and it cost them last week against the Jags.
It's costing them every week that they play and they have a loss
Yeah.
like that. Like they've given up. I forget the stat. If I can remember to, I'll go find the photo that I seen online. But
Mhm.
they keep having leads in the fourth quarter and they keep blowing them.
Exactly.
Like it started with Miami. That was I blame Miami.
Yeah.
That was the first game that was like, okay, you guys came back. It was like 38-17 or something, and then they came back to win.
Yeah.
And I lost my mind then, and I just continuously am surprised, which I shouldn't
Yeah.
be because that's the definition of insanity. But
Yeah.
I'm continuously surprised by the Ravens' lack of a defense in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Now, do I think that's really going to make a big difference in this game? Not really,
Yeah.
because if you can't stop Denver with what
Yeah.
Denver's going to bring to the table,
Hmm.
you have no business winning your division.
Exactly.
Like, we may as well
But
just hand this over to Cincinnati right now.
there you go. But I bet you will be in agreement. Both take the Ravens straight by the Broncos.
I hate that as a scrape by,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of agree with you on that because I think that this could very well be an upset waiting to
Hmm.
happen,
Hmm.
and I really hope that it's not. But I just
Yeah.
I just don't trust Baltimore. I'm going with Baltimore because it's
Yeah.
the Broncos, but
Hmm.
I don't trust them.
Yeah.
If it was any other team that was actually worth a darn, maybe I'd be going against Baltimore. But right now,
Yeah. Hmm.
nah.
Okay.
All right. So this next game is going to be very interesting for
Hmm.
some reasons that I'm not sure we should discuss.
Yeah.
I think you know where I'm going with this.
Okay.
We have the Browns
Hmm.
visiting Houston.
Yeah. Obviously, the Browns are going to get Deshaun Watson back there, but the
which,
first game, is going to be against his former team, which is going to be a powder keg.
yeah. And this is kind of I had this realization last week when I was watching the games and I seen Cleveland win, and they were
Mm-hmm.
saying that Jacoby Brissett got his last win of the season because they're getting
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson back, and then they're
Mm-hmm.
facing Houston the following
Mm-hmm.
week. The NFL timed this out
Mm-hmm.
on purpose. More than, I mean, it feels too perfect to not have been
Mm-hmm.
thought out ahead of time that
Yeah.
they were going to suspend Watson
Mm-hmm.
up until they had a match with Houston.
Yeah.
And that was why the suspensions kept waffling between 4 weeks,
Yeah.
6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, a whole year. you know
Yeah.
they didn't really know what they were going to do, and
Yeah.
then they looked at the schedule and they're like, oh wait, they have to face Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, why don't we just suspend him until then? And that, so they just like slapped on some arbitrary number
Yeah.
of weeks that
Yeah.
seemingly was random and had no actual
Yeah.
reason,
Mm-hmm.
and now is coming back to face his former team. It's
Yeah.
just like, come on.
Yeah.
It was so obvious. It was genius because everybody's gonna watch this game,
Yeah.
but it's also really stupid that you would, I don't know, just
Yeah.
play with suspensions like that. But
Yeah. Exactly.
maybe I'm just too good-hearted to play the
Yeah.
game. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said,
Mm-hmm.
who are you taking? The former
I'm
team
going.
to get revenge, or the
Mm-hmm.
returning QB?
Obviously, I'm gonna try Deshaun Watson there, and the Browns to win two in a row there.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Nick Chubb's game doesn't suffer for
Mm-hmm.
having another runner
Yeah.
as a QB.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also taking the Browns. Now, I'm not rooting for Watson. I'm rooting
Yeah.
against him, but
Yeah.
I have to be smart with my pick,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
it doesn't make good sense to go with Houston
Yeah.
from a
Better to
predictions
be safe than
perspective.
sorry.
Right, exactly. From a predictions perspective, it doesn't make a whole
Mm-hmm.
lot of sense. So
Mm-hmm.
I have to take the Browns, and I am taking the Browns
Mm-hmm.
for no other reason than Nick
Mm-hmm.
Chubb and Miles Garrett.
Yeah.
Anybody else on the team? Nah. Well,
Yeah.
Amari Cooper's kind of okay. I don't mind him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's decent.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, NFC West. We have the Seahawks and the Rams, who are without a lot of things right now.
True. Obviously, the Rams are without Cooper Cup, and I don't know the status of Matt Stafford there.
I still think that he's day to day, but honestly, I also heard that he was out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure. I know that his
Yeah.
wife is asking him to retire,
Yeah.
which I can completely understand because he's had like two
Okay.
concussions,
Yeah.
words, in 2 weeks. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
I get it,
Yeah.
you want him to be healthy and around for your kids and all that, but
Yeah. Exactly.
the Rams, and then Aaron Donald has a high ankle sprain too, so it's like
Yeah.
this team's
Ooh.
falling apart, and as a
True.
Lions fan, I love it.
Yeah. Get you a higher pick.
Yep, it does.
Yeah. And obviously, Seattle needs a bounce back game there after that huge loss against the Raiders we discussed earlier.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So, what better scenario than to go LA and beat the Rams there, which is going to be my pick there, the Seahawks.
Yep, I 100% agree. I think it being a divisional game is going to be a lot more fun for them as well, and is a lot more
Mm-hmm.
important. They can
Yeah.
gain some ground. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Please beat the Rams and have them have like the number 2 pick or something. That'd be really
Mm-hmm.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
I would enjoy that a lot.
Yeah.
Again, staying in the West, I love how this week is just kind of
Mm-hmm.
divided. It's really
Yeah.
cool. We
Yeah.
have the Niners hosting the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, this game could be a Super Bowl potential final there.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Bold. I like it.
Yeah, because of the success of both Jimmy G and Tua.
Yeah, I do think that the McCafferty effect has definitely been a godsend for
Yeah.
San Francisco. They've
Mhm.
improved themselves so much just signing him. And then
Mhm.
we've got Debo who's coming in as well.
Yeah.
So like they have a lot of power on that offense. And if they can get Boza back
Yeah.
in time for the playoffs,
Yeah.
they're gonna be scary.
Yeah. Exactly. But nobody wants to play him in the playoffs there.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
Miami, like you were saying before, with the trifecta of Tua, Waddle, and Hill,
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
it's very fearsome. I think for me then it's going to come down to defense, and I
Hmm.
do think that San Francisco's defense is a little bit better,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be quite the shootout. I think I'm expecting a
True.
really high scoring game.
True. There. True. Uh, uh, this one could be another close game as I see it there.
Hmm.
But hopefully, both teams save enough for when they if they meet in February.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. So with me, I think it's going to be. I'm going to pick the Niners to scrape by the Dolphins.
I agree. I'm also taking the Niners on this one. I didn't really think about this too much. I just kind of went for it, you know. Trusted my gut as
Yeah.
Buff did for all of his picks this week as well.
Hmm.
I only did research on like two of these games to actually think about what I was
Yeah.
going to do.
Yeah.
I just really like the 49ers offense right now. Having
Hmm.
McCaffrey and Debo and Kittle, and
Yeah.
it's a really fun,
Hmm.
explosive offense to watch. And so I think it's going to be a shootout with
Yeah.
the Finns and the Niners, but
Yeah.
I'm taking San Francisco at home.
Okay.
All right, now we've got Cincinnati at home welcoming the Chiefs.
Hmm.
This is going to be another lights out game.
True. True. Obviously, the question is Jamal Chase back?
Jamar Chase, I do not know, actually, what his status is. I would hope so because that would be a lot more electric of a game if he was. But I'm
Hmm.
not entirely sure. I'm also
Hmm.
not entirely sure that the Bengals need him
Yeah.
right now. I
Exactly.
mean, to be fair, they've beaten the Steelers without him,
Yeah.
and they beat Tennessee without him.
True.
So like everyone else is kind of stepping up for Joe Burrow
Yeah.
when Chase fell. Now Chase coming back is going to be huge, but right
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
they're having a really good let's man up mentality, and
Yeah. But this game could be difficult there because they
oh,
have to play Patrick Mahomes'
mm-hmm.
team there.
I'm not going to say it again. I'm not going to say it this time, but
Yeah.
I've cringed enough this week. I don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're taking on a very strong Chiefs team,
True.
and I forget who that running back is of the Chiefs, but I like him. I forget his
Yeah.
name, but I
Yeah.
seen him play last week, and he
Hmm.
took that hit from Bobby Wagner and
Yeah.
popped right back up again, like
True.
nothing happened. And then the
Yeah.
very next carry, he leapfrogged
Yeah.
Ramsey, I think it was,
Yeah.
and just seeing that kind of attack in a runner is really
Hmm.
really fun. So kudos
Hmm.
to you.
Yeah.
It starts with a P. It's not Poncho, but it's something. I forget his
Yeah.
name now. I feel really bad. I should have looked this up before we started, but
Yeah.
I
Should have googled it.
yeah I should have. But I have a thing for like short runners too. Like I always like
Hmm.
Darren Sproles. Like he was always one of
Hmm.
my favorites because
Yeah.
the short players they
Hmm.
get so overlooked, and then
Yeah.
when they get into the pile when they're trying to
Yeah.
run up the middle or something, you lose sight of them, and next thing you know they're just gone. So it's always really fun to
Yeah.
watch those kinds of players do what they do
Hmm.
best. And so hopefully he has
Exactly.
another great game
Exactly there.
when they visit Cincinnati. But
Yeah.
it's going to be a tight game regardless. So
True.
who do you have in this one?
This one I'm going to go with stick with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to beat the Bengals.
I am in agreement with that.
Hmm.
I do think that Cincinnati has a really good shot at this one,
Hmm.
but it's safer to stick with Kansas
Hmm.
City. And this week
Yeah.
I'm all about being safe,
Yeah.
except for taking Detroit, which apparently
Hmm.
was a mistake.
Yeah.
If you look at everybody else's picks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then moving on, we have an AFC West rivalry battle with
Mm-hmm.
the Chargers and the Raiders.
Yeah. Obviously, Chargers. Their coach there made a huge gutsy call, like the Jags coach. They're going for two to win it there.
Yeah, you know what? He's making some really gutsy calls, and every time I see somebody go for it on fourth when they shouldn't, I always ask them
Yeah.
who they think
Go
they
for
are.
2 points.
Yeah, go for 2 points, go for it on fourth down when you
Mm.
have absolutely no business going for it.
Yeah.
I always ask who they think they are. And it's
Yeah.
just, it does my head in sometimes, I swear.
Yeah.
I don't need this kind of stress and anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously, we discussed with the Raiders their big wins in overtime there.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to their running back
Yeah,
there.
and if I'm not mistaken, I think that these two teams last year were fighting for a playoff spot or something like that. And
Yeah. 80.
I I know you remember.
Mm-hmm.
It was if they would have tied,
Mm-hmm.
then it would have knocked somebody out of playoff contention, and they almost pulled it off. So they were like
Sure.
asking themselves if they should tie or not. I know it was a really exciting game, but
Yeah. Even Dino agrees with you.
he's very happy.
Yeah.
I really we're not an AFC team. Okay, we do not support that conference in this household.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point, Dino.
Yeah, very good point. This should be bird pick. I don't
Yeah.
know who he's thinking,
Yeah. So
Chargers or Raiders.
yeah. With me, I think it's going to be three in a row there, and I'm going to take the Raiders to beat the Chargers.
That's uh that's very interesting. I do think that they have a really good shot at it because I think the Chargers could be spiraling a little bit, and
Yeah.
all he has to do is make one more overly gutsy call,
Yeah.
and it's going to cost him, like it almost
Yeah.
did before. I think it was
Mm-hmm.
against Denver. It almost cost them,
Yeah.
which is saying a lot considering it was Denver. So now I'm kind of regretting my choice, but I went with the Chargers.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't like Josh McDaniels
Mm-hmm.
like at all
Mm-hmm.
as a
Exactly.
coach.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to see him lose a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
unfortunately, I like Derek Carr and I like Josh Jacobs. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of split with myself because I like the players, hate the coach.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this comes down to coaching, and I'm gonna say the Chargers are gonna be
True.
more gutsy and go for it.
Yeah.
So we split again,
Yeah.
and now we have the Sunday night game of the questionable Colts
Yeah.
and the Cowboys.
Yeah. Uh, like a fool, I I went with Jeff Saturday there, and he burned me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I bought into his previous 2 weeks.
Sure.
My thing on this is this is unfortunately Agron. I apologize, but this
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a battle of the coaching decisions,
Yeah.
and whose late game coaching decisions is going to cost them more. Time
Mm-hmm.
management
Mm-hmm.
on Indy's side, or
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy doing Mark McCarthy when they face
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's going to be a battle like that, and I'm really
Sure.
interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Personally, I am taking the home team again, and I'm going with
Sure.
the Cowboys because I think they're the better team. They're on a
Sure.
roll. They need this win to
Yeah.
stay in contention for the East.
Yeah. True. And
So,
and maintain at least a wild card spot there.
yeah, exactly. It's a
Yeah.
big time push, and the
True.
Colts aren't really pushing for a whole lot right now outside
No.
of just not getting in the top 5 draft pick.
Exactly.
Which at
There.
this
Yeah.
stage, I don't really think that should be a concern. You should want something high, knowing that you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to win your division anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But with me, I think the Cowboys are gonna blow out the Colts. They're maybe put up a 40 burger.
Ooh, predicting a 40, huh?
Yeah. And if I'm wrong, I'll regret my scenario there
Hmm.
next week.
I mean, I don't disagree, so it could be interesting.
Hmm.
I'm also taking the Cowboys. I'm not gonna go bold enough and say it's gonna be a 40 burger
Hmm.
or a 30 burger or
Yeah.
50, heaven forbid. But
Yeah.
I will say though that them running Zeke and Pollard
Hmm.
is getting a little annoying
Yeah.
because I don't know
Hmm.
who's the number one.
Yeah.
I don't. They say it's Pollard, but Zeke
Yeah.
gets more carries,
Yeah.
and
Maybe.
Zeke is better. You know, he's your
Yeah.
third down back.
Yeah.
Pollard can't run from scrimmage on third.
Maybe if they win big, that could convince somebody like OBJ to come play for the team.
That's what's gonna be interesting. He's been rumored to go to Dallas for a while, but to me, the fact that he hasn't landed anywhere yet
Yeah.
is very, very annoying because he's just
Yeah.
gonna find a team who's gonna be knocking on the door of the playoffs, sneak
Hmm.
his way in, and hope for the best.
Yeah.
He's not there to be a team player. He's not there to actually help the team
True.
improve going forward. He's
True.
clearly being a ring chaser because he's
Hmm.
waiting. He's biding
Yeah.
his time and he's waiting to see who's got the best shot of making it all
Hmm.
the way,
Yeah.
and then he'll throw his hat in the ring to play for you. So
Yeah.
that's really annoying. He's another diva player that I do not like.
Yeah.
But that being said, I am
Exactly.
also going with Dallas,
Okay.
and I hope for the best. But
Yeah.
my freaking god, I do not
Hmm.
like OBJ.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the final game of the week, an
Monday night.
NFC South battle
Hmm.
that I am going to regret.
Hmm.
We have New Orleans visiting Tampa.
Yeah. This one is who wants the division game?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if Atlanta loses, like I'm honestly expecting them to, this is going to
Hmm.
be the Bucks' chance.
Yeah. Exactly. Perfect scenario for Tom Brady there.
Yeah, it is. And my problem is I want to go with New Orleans. I really do. I like that team a lot more. I think that they have a lot more to fight for right now because
Hmm.
they're, down and out and they're losing people left and right. And their coach is questionable at best.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
they have a lot more scrappiness to them, I think, than
Yeah.
Tampa does. And so I
Yeah.
want to go with New Orleans.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I honestly do not foresee the Buccaneers sweeping New Orleans
Yeah.
because New Orleans always sweeps them, not the other way around.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for the sake of the predictions, I have to
Hmm.
be safe and I have to be
Hmm.
smart, not so
Hmm.
much risky. And so I went with Tampa
True. And
because of
I
how
agree
last
with
week
you.
went. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you because obviously Brady wants to be in the playoffs there, and he's got to win major games. And to start with on Monday night, there beating Saints there will be a
Yeah.
huge step for him.
Well, yeah, I mean any divisional game is important and especially now when all of
Hmm.
the teams are subpar.
Yeah.
So, it's just and then with the way that last week ended, how he came so close to winning it, but their defense let them down by letting Chubb run in.
Hmm.
It's just that's going to be my problem too is if the Bucks
Yeah.
can't stop the run
Hmm.
and Kamara is healthy,
Yeah.
they're kind of in trouble again.
Yeah.
Now, I would absolutely love for Kamara, however you want to say
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love for him to put up another 7 TDs
Hmm.
like he did before. So,
Exactly.
if you want to do that, by all
Hmm.
means, I will be happy to be wrong,
Hmm.
but I have to be safe in this particular situation of the season.
Hmm.
So, unfortunately, we both agree and we're going with the Bucks.
True.
All right, and that does it for us. Let's go take a look at the other 3 participants of our verses.
Okay.
First up, we have SDS, who took the Packers because Rodgers still owns the Bears.
Hmm.
He took the Jets and said, "Sue me." Okay, how much are you offering? Um, We have him taking the Jags as well, and then he just apologized to me. No
Mm-hmm.
problem, it's fine. I anticipated being alone. I honestly did, so I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
He took the Browns and said that the Texans are going to be violated by Deshaun.
Yeah.
Questionable word choices, but you know what? It do be you. He took the Giants, so we already have a split there. But again, I figured that I would.
Yeah.
He took the Bengals over the Chiefs,
Ooh.
which is gutsy as heck. But I can see that happening, so we'll see.
Yeah.
And then he took the Cowgirls, and he took the Bucks with 3 broom emojis. So he's calling for the sweep, and
Yeah.
he's apparently going to be very happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always more fun when he's mad. So
True.
we'll see how New Orleans helps me out with that.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have Buff, who is just doing gut reactions.
Mm-hmm.
He took the Bears because apparently frick Green Bay. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
No shame. He took the
Mm-hmm.
Titans over the Eagles because he's a good friend.
Okay.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
He took the Jaguars over the Lions. So again, so far I'm
Mm-hmm.
alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that. He
Yeah.
took the Commanders. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
He took Miami over the 49ers,
Ooh.
which is going to be
Gutsy
interesting.
pick.
Yeah, gutsy pick. It's going to be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he's right, actually, because I think that'd be really fun for the West
Yeah.
if the Niners lost. And
Mm-hmm.
then finally, he took the Saints. I am so
Ooh.
happy that someone took the Saints because I
Mm-hmm.
really wanted to. And if
Mm-hmm.
anybody was going to go with the Saints over the Bucks, it was going to be Buff.
Yeah.
He's the kind of guy who would make those kinds of picks,
Mm-hmm.
bold picks, just to see what happens. So
True.
thank you for
We
that.
shall see.
Much appreciated. And then finally, we have John's picks, who has reasons. He took the Steelers because they are 11-1 in games involving Atlanta, and he wants it to be
Mm-hmm.
12-1.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That's a good stat. Unfortunately, we
Mm-hmm.
split on an Atlanta game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared. He
Yeah.
took the Ravens and said, "Go Hawks."
Mm-hmm.
He took the Packers because it's the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Again, I can agree, but also Aaron Rodgers can stay in the basement. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
He agrees with me on the Lions, so I'm finally not alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy about that. He took the Texans over the Browns,
Mm-hmm.
saying that this is a no game and he's not cheering for Watson.
Okay.
I can respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been in agreement with you if it wasn't for the fact that I'm pushing for first.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Disagreed with me on the Commanders, so he took the Giants. He
Okay.
also took the Dolphins over the 49ers,
Mm-hmm.
probably because of being a Seahawks fan. You can
Mm-hmm.
let me know in the comments below if that's your reasoning.
True.
He took the Chiefs and said, though the Bengals have a good shot. I
Mm-hmm.
agree.
Yeah.
He took the Raiders with a
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs season.
Yeah.
Agreed. And then he took the Bucks and said that if he's wrong, that will be his regret of the week,
Okay.
which I can agree with. And that is going to also be my regret of the week if I'm right
Mm-hmm.
and New Orleans prevents the sweep.
Yeah.
But I wasn't gutsy enough to go with it.
Yeah.
So there we have week 13 in the books. Anything you want to say about the games or whatnot to wrap up?
Not a whole lot there, but everybody, please answer my philosophical question in the comments below there, and obviously hit the like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell for all our future versus game videos on here.
Yep, definitely. I look forward to doing these every week. It's kind of like the main thing that I've been doing lately,
Mm-hmm.
content-wise. So I'm hoping to get back into doing more of the content that my channel is known for going
Mm-hmm.
forward. But right now, I'm just having a lot of fun doing stuff like this and
Yeah.
recording some stuff for the future in 2023 coming up. So
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a really fun time going
True.
forward, and I hope that you guys are along for the ride.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you enjoyed this season and this week. And let us know what your picks are down below. Like Steve was saying, do you think it's possible for the entire NFC East to get the playoffs? And who do you think is going to actually win the South of the NFC?
NFC.
Yeah,
I would have to say Brady and the Bucks there.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they would have the best shot at it,
Mhm. Yeah.
but it's really still anybody's game, and I love that. It's really, really exciting. So we're gonna get on out of here now. It's been going on for way too long. If you've
Yeah.
made it this far into the video, kudos to
Mhm.
you.
Yeah.
Um, I can't say what I wanted to say. I wanted to say leave one pride in the comments
Mhm.
below to prove that you made it this far, but that'd be bad for
Yeah.
Buff. Say skull. I'll be a good friend. If you've made it
Okay.
this far into the video,
Yeah.
comment the word skull down
Yeah.
below. And we will catch you guys next week for more of the NFL predictions versus.
Okay. Thank you all. See you next week.